What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Monday night's Los Tres Maduros. I am your host, Duncan Ramon Echevarria. Super happy to be with you guys on this amazing April the 19th, year of our Lord 2021. So much is going on in this world right now. All I'm going to say, folks, is I'm thankful to be doing this again with you folks. I'm thankful to do this every Monday when I can do it in good health, in good spirits, and obviously with a good cigar. Real quick, we're going to have a couple of different things I want to jump into this day. I don't want to forget anything. We're going to talk about the cigar, of course, that I'll be smoking today. And I'm going to bring up the image in just a moment, but I'm going to tell you guys it is the Sweet Jane, part of the Deadwood series of cigars, distributed by, I believe it's, of course, Drew Estates, very famous for their line of infused cigars. So I haven't smoked one of these in a long time. I'm interested in going back to it and seeing, how it is. I've had this one just sort of like laying around and doing its own magic. We're going to talk about a very special package that arrived, and there's going to be some really, great heartfelt thank yous to the person who sent it, and also, we're gonna talk about what's inside the package. I want to talk to you guys about that. Remember, also, just real quick, above all else, this is, just entertainment purposes. Just laugh, have a good time, enjoy yourselves. There's nothing serious going on here, except, however serious, we take ourselves. Me personally, I don't take myself that serious, if at all. So I'm glad that you guys are all here with me today. I'm super excited to be doing this show. Again, it's sometimes interesting when you are when you're jumping into the beginning of the week, when you're saying, man, it's a Monday again, and I got the whole week ahead of me. It's always on how you see that, how you perceive that, how you want to embrace that. Let's look at it like this. Okay, it's 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We're done with the day business-wise. We're now possibly maybe just right after supper, or headed into finishing our dinner or supper. And now it's relaxation time. It's a cigar time. Maybe it's just camaraderie, talk with friends, family, whatnot. So it's not necessarily, oh my God, the Monday blues. No, and I think we just we finished and wrapped up a good day. We got the rest of the week ahead of us. A lot of great, exciting opportunities are ahead of us for this week. So that's sort of like how I approach sometimes the Monday blues. And again, if I didn't say, this is yours truly, Duncan Ramon Echevarria, your Cigar Consigliere. Let's see if I can bring up on the screen real quick the picture of what I'll be smoking today. I'm super duper excited about it. Again, I think you guys are going to truly enjoy it. If I just bear with me for a minute. As you guys know, my techie skills are not ever that great. So I hope I did it correctly. Let's see. There we go. That is the cigar that I'll be smoking today. It is the Sweet Jane, and it is, of course, it's a fantastic cigar. You're not going to go wrong with it at all. It's part of the Deadwood series, Sweet Jane. It's also Fat Bottom Betty, Crazy Alice. I think they got a fourth one out there. I can't ever keep track of these things. These are handmade in Esteli, Nicaragua by Drew Estate. These unique cigars, of course, they feature, premium Nicaraguan binder, filler, tobacco. Of course, it's super premium. And, you understand that Drew Estate does not do anything half-ass. I think that when they put together a cigar, you're expecting nothing less than premium, right? Premium, good tobacco. So it's a delicious, dark and oily Connecticut broadleaf wrapper. I'm about to take it out of the wrapper itself. I mean, well, the cellophane right now. I'm not going to take it out of the wrapper. That's crazy. And it's something that I wanted to touch base upon today, because today's going to be a fun day. Today's going to be a day about what we get out of a cigar. What are the flavors? What are these things that we always keep hearing when we have reviewers talk to us about, oh my God, I'm tasting this or I'm tasting that. And I just really want to approach that today in a very lighthearted mood. So don't take me too seriously. As I've said before, this is just purely entertainment purposes. We're going to have a good time. We got a little bit of time ahead of us, so whether you're with me, whether you're not with me, whether you agree, whether you don't agree, it's literally all about I've always said the enjoyment of a good cigar with good friends or by yourself. Either way, it's not a big thing. So let's get it started. Let's begin with the aroma. How does the cigar? I just took it out of the cellophane. How does the cigar come to your nostrils? What does that aroma tell you from the onset? What does the bouquet? What does it smell? Let's just be a little bit more vulgar. What does the smell of the unlit tobacco tell you? Right? Let's just dive in. Okay. Here we go. I'm not a reviewer. I've always said this. I'm not a reviewer. I actually said that today in a comment. I saw Skip Martin posted something very, very interesting, very unique. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this show, kind of sort of around the approach that some reviewers have to their cigars. Or when you hear, that one guy in the cigar establishment or in the cigar club or in the cigar lounge, he just wants to tell you everything he gets about the cigar. He just wants to, from one pull on the cigar and exudes one, a puff of smoke. He's telling you everything about it. So what I'm going to tell you right off the bat, the unlit cigar, haven't even cut it, haven't done anything to it. Just the aroma of it it's a beautiful, light, fresh tobacco. Okay, just like that. Light, fresh tobacco. Of course, by the appearance, it's very nice and dark. I'm sure I can kind of angle it a little bit better right there. It's a dark looking cigar. It's a Connecticut broadleaf. I'm sure it's got some really beautiful aging on it. So when you look at the cigar and when you hear all of a sudden it's a light tobacco aroma, you may not be thinking that off the top of your head, right? You probably like, wow, Duncan, that sort of doesn't tie in with that cigar. Which is okay. It's nothing wrong with that. So one of the things that I like to do then immediately following, taking out a package, getting that nice, whiff of that first aroma is, of course, I'm going to do a cut. I'm going to do a simple. This is a straight cut. You could do this cut however you want. Take a little bit more than that. Not enough. There we go. I think. Oh, yeah. Okay. So that is now where things are about to begin to change. Remember what I just did. Beautiful aroma, right? Light tobacco, not heavy at all. But because I know this is an infused cigar, this is whatever the process that Drew Estate uses, this is an infused cigar. I did my first draw, just very light draw. So let's do it again, a little bit more serious, right? So here is where you can begin to get a little bit, I guess, in depth as to like what you just tasted. Okay, so it is sweet. It's almost not sugary sweet. It's almost like, and I hate to say like this, like medicinally sweet, if you will, like chemically sweet. I don't necessarily think that this is a naturally sweet sort of taste, if you guys understand this. I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm not saying that the actual sweetness, whether it's chemical or however it is done, is bad. It just, to my taste, to my flavor palate, to what I just got right now on my lips, on my tongue, on my salivary glands, just from that cold draw, and just gently passing the tongue over the tip, I got a nice sweetness. I enjoy that. It was a nice sweetness, but it's almost like a like a diet Coke or a diet Pepsi, whatever that type of artificial sweetener is. That's what I got out of it. So again, not necessarily bad. I'm not saying that it is. On the contrary, I haven't smoked a Sweet Jane in quite a while. I mean, I want to say definitely at least well over a year, maybe 2 years. So these are not cigars that I go to specifically on a regular basis. I really don't. I save them for, just moments like this. Every now and then I see something uniquely interesting online on social media. I may want to comment. I may want to, dive in. And I did earlier. It was a comment by Skip Martin, of course, the owner of Aroma Craft Cigars, fantastic line of cigar lines, a fantastic brand of cigars. But I agree with what he was saying. In essence, I'm going to just shorten it. there's a lot of folks out there, and you know those guys in the clubs, in the cigar lounges. You know, the moment they light up a cigar, they want to tell you everything. You know, they want to tell you they get juniper berry. They want to tell you they get Madagascar vanilla. They want to tell you they get cinnamon from Vietnam. All kinds of crazy stuff. All kinds of crazy stuff. In my life, I've never understood that concept. And not that I've never understood it. I mean, I understand that. I get it. But I sort of akin that or relate that closer to, people are doing like fine wines or, certain liquors, if you will. Tobacco to me or cigars has always revolved around one thing: good quality tobacco and some of the natural flavors that come with the process of that tobacco in fermentation and in aging, and how different tobacco leaves can blend together or meld together in the blend and create some interesting flavor profiles. But I've never found them too far away from what the core flavor is, which is good quality tobacco. So let's go ahead and light this one real quick. I'm gonna give it a little bit of a toast, because again, it's a unique cigar. And this is one of those that I want to see if what they're saying here is pretty spot on. It says spice, mocha, and earth. Spice, mocha, and earth. And again, for the podcasters, I didn't say it earlier, but thank you very much for all of our podcast listeners. We appreciate you so much. We are on 7 different podcast platforms. We're on iTunes. We're on Google. We are on Apple Podcast. We're on Spotify. We are on Breaker. We are on Pocket Caster. So there's a whole plethora of different platforms where you can listen to us. What's going on, Reverend Adam Collins? What's happening? Reverend, today, I know you may have just jumped on board. I'm smoking a Sweet Jane. It's not a go-to cigar for me, as I explained a little bit earlier. It's not one of these cigars that I run to get immediately because, oh my God, it's whatever quantity they're gonna have. No, I don't do that. I rarely have ever done that on an infused cigar of any kind. I just don't pursue infused cigars on that level. Now, I have learned to make an exception on that, and I'll tell you why I've learned to make an exception on it, because there is a process of infusion. And then there's a process of infusion. Not because he's a friend, not because he's someone that I admire and respect a lot, but Lars Teton, in my humble 2 cents worth of an opinion, is the godfather of what a true infused cigar is. So if anybody ever has questions on that, don't direct them at me, direct them at the man who pioneered, in my opinion, what an infused cigar is. What's going on, Edric, man? All the best to you, brother. All the best to you. I hope that you're doing well. We're hanging in here. Tonight, I'm just about to light up a Sweet Jane, as I was explaining to my good friend, Reverend Adam Collins. It's not a cigar that I go to or pursue. I'm not a pursuer of infused cigars, but I've had this one for a while. I saw an amazing comment today posted by Skip Martin, the owner of Aroma Cigars, and it basically... It was not an attacking comment. It was not a negative comment, but it was basically something that I've seen working in different cigar environments that I've interacted with, and I even heard that particular guy. And you guys know who I'm talking about. It's that guy that after 2 or 3 puffs, he's telling you all the nuances and all the notes and all of this and all of that about that cigar. And I just want to turn around and say to the guy, usually, how about you just enjoy the cigar? How about you just sort of enjoy it, man? Hey, thank you very much. I'll accept that, and I will reciprocate 100-fold right back to you, my man. Definitely. And now my favorite of the Finleys, Caitlin Grace, is watching. All the best to you. Thank you. So let's go ahead. Talked enough, the preamble to this light up. Let's go ahead and toast this little guy here real quick. And again, I'm excited. I mean, I'm excited. I haven't smoked one of these Sweet Janes or Deadwoods or whatever the heck they're called in well over a year, almost 2. So let's see what the story is on these, right? Let's see how close to what the reviews on it as far as flavors this cigar hits. still having a little trouble. If you guys can tell, I am wearing my brace here, my cast, my arm. I can't do certain movements still. Tomorrow is the day that I'm going to the orthopedic specialist. So bear with me for a minute. All right, so again, that the sweetness is on the lips. It's on the tongue. It's right there. You know, mixing in with the saliva automatically on the first draw. I can taste it. And as I said earlier, it's not necessarily that I'm going to say it's not. I don't want to say it like this. It's not a natural sweetness. It's not what I would say, hey, it's sugary, or it's a sweetness that's attributed to something like, you know, like vanilla or chocolate or any of those organic flavors per se that would have an intrinsic sweet nature to them. Like, you know, sugar cane. Sugar cane is naturally sweet because, of course, it's sugar cane. This type of sweetness reminds me more of a you know, a sweetness that is added to medicines for children so that it tastes good. A sweetness that is artificial for you know, diet drinks and whatnot. So, you know, it's not unpleasant. It's really not. But it's not one that I'm like, wow, hey, it's sweet tobacco. It's naturally sweet tobacco, because it's not. So let's just get that out of the way. They spoke about spice, mocha, and what was the third one? And earth. Okay. Spice, mocha, and earth. Real quick, let's go into these three. Just break them down simply. Spice. I would say, if I was going to say, you know, attribute this to spice, right? I call them, and I've already have a few guys that are picking this up from me, and you know, I think, and I don't want to say I pioneered this terminology, the baking spices, okay? And I'm not saying that I did or not, but I've heard a lot of other folks start using that, you know, that phrase or that terminology when they refer to a sweet spice, right? You got your cinnamons, you got your cardamoms, you got your nutmegs, you got all these interesting spicy, you know, I want to say seasons or seasonings or baking spices, if you will. Very Middle Eastern, very Indian, but they have a sweet burn, a sweet spice to them. That's sort of how I would attribute that spice here in this case. That I can tell you for a fact, to me, again, if I'm wrong, you know, I'm wrong. It's not going to be the first time. But to me, there is zero pepperiness and fiery bite to this. I don't get it. There is a sweet spiciness. You know, I like that. You know, like if you take your finger, you wet it a little bit, and then you just dab a little dash of cinnamon and you put it back in, or nutmeg or cardamom. You know, any of the, like, you know, the baking spices that sometimes just enhance that flavor of that cake or that product that you're making, right? So any of those things, these sweet baking spices, that's what I taste. Earth. And I'm going to jump over the mocha because right now I'm not there. And if you guys know me, I have a tall, clean glass of water because I really wanted to come at this and approach this with as clean of a palate as possible. I wanted to get as much of what is talked about this cigar as possible, so I could really talk a little bit better about it. And, you know, not like every day look like an idiot, you know, when, you know, talking about cigars. But give me a second. I'm about to just, you know, cleanse, and then I'm going to do a couple of more puffs because I want to approach now the earth. I'm going to skip the mocha for a second, and I'm going to jump right into the earth or earthiness. Don't be afraid to do that. It's perfectly fine. Take a big swig of water, swish it around. You really want to do it, swish it around. Just it's okay. Listen, if your buddies are watching you, you just say, man, don't worry about it. I'm doing this. It's okay. I'm crazy. That's fine. And then, you know, chug it back. And now let's see if I get earthiness. I don't know what I'm going to get. I'm going to do a few good puffs, and let's see where we're at with that. I'm still getting the spice, earth or earthiness, or these earthy notes. Okay, it's interesting. When I think of an earthy taste, these warm earthy notes, in my mind, it's almost not necessarily tasting as opposed to smelling. That really gives me a sensation, like, think about this, if you will. Freshly tilled soil, that in the morning, when the farmers are out there, they just till that soil, and then that loaminess, that earthiness, that aroma rises. And you can just smell that rich earth that is just ready to receive the seeds that will produce the bounty. That aroma, more than an earthy flavor, if you will, is what I would look for. Now, mineralities, mineral tastes, a copperiness to it, a metallic sort of tastiness to it, if you will. There are cigars that will give you these mineralities, saltiness in a cigar is part of what I would say an earthiness, a mineral aspect to it, if you will. In this case, maybe, and I always say this, I'm not a reviewer, maybe I'm not that guy, but I would get something more closer to that than earth. I don't get an earthiness here. I don't get no earthy notes, no earth, no loaminess, no rich, dark soil, sensation, if you will. The umami, which is the physical sensation in my mouth with this cigar and what it's doing, does not reflect back that. Now, what it does reflect is a slight minerality, almost a delicious saltiness in the background. And I say delicious saltiness, if you were thinking maybe like a salted caramel, which is very enjoyable, or like, rock salt, or chocolate, which I know a certain someone enjoys that. So that's sort of what I'm getting here. One of the things that I'm not enjoying, Edwin Morales, muchas gracias por estar con nosotros. Thank you for being here. That I'm not enjoying is the staying power of that sweetness on my lips. I'm not enjoying that. And I'll briefly just say the reason why. Again, to me, it's not natural. It's not a natural taste. I have done infused cigars in the past, along with and my mother and I have done them. We've done Crown Royal. We've done rum. We've even done stout beer. I've done coffee infused cigars. We do it a little bit more old school. We use 100% pure product, which means we don't dilute it. We don't add anything to it. For example, if I'm going to do a coffee infused cigar, I'm not going to explain the process. It is what my mom and I, we own that. We will not pass that on. But the process involves pure, fresh made Cuban coffee. And that is what your cigar will be infused with. So that when you do taste that, when you do pull on it, you don't have anything but a beautiful coffee experience, a coffee taste. But it will not be like lingering, like something that has been applied might be just brushing off, and now it's like lingering on your lips and your tongue. So I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of the artificial aspect of any type of infused cigars. Not a fan. Again, just me. Today I am smoking the Sweet Jane. I hadn't smoked this in, like I said, almost 2 years. I wanted to come back to it. It was just a cigar that was quite appropriate for tonight because, as I mentioned earlier, I saw a really interesting, comment by Skip Martin, and I agree 100% with him. In this case, sometimes when you walk into a cigar lounge, a cigar store, anywhere, you get, maybe one person in there, possibly two. I've been in places where there's definitely was more than one, and they go into this whole hullabaloo of showing you how much of an experienced, I guess, reviewer they can be, or how knowledgeable their palate is, or how knowledgeable they are because they have such a refined palate. And at the end of the day, I'm not that guy. I've worked with a lot of retailers, and I've been in front of a lot of great people. And one of the things I always say is, man, just enjoy it. Enjoy it. If you like it and you want to go back to it, then you go back to it. You know, it's always fantastic. Howard Stokes, what's going on? Thank you very much for watching. I definitely appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you very much. So tonight's cigar is not necessarily an attack on the product. It is not an attack on the process of infusion. It is none of those things. It is simply because a lot of times, you know, you hear these insane flavor profiles, you know, like, oh, I tasted, you know, like literally, you know, French brulee, you know, creme brulee. I taste creme brulee, or I tasted, you know, Vietnamese freshly picked wild rice. I'm like, wow, you can pick all of that up. That's insane. If you know, so, and I listen to some of these guys, and I read some of their reviews, and I get it. I understand that we are visual creatures. So if you sort of describe it to us, that could be a little bit more tantalizing. And, you know, in the end of the day, it might be now a cigar that, hey, you know, if he's getting Vietnamese, freshly cut wild rice, I want to taste that. I want to get that experience too. Who knows? And again, that could generate a sale for the shop. But if you smoke that cigar on the hopes that you're going to get Vietnamese, freshly cut, wild rice, whatever the crap, you know, and you don't get that, then you're like thinking, man, this cigar doesn't taste anything like that. I get, you know, tobacco and it's whatever. So take everybody's reviews with a grain of salt. I mean, really come at them with more of an eye to, I want to have my own experience, as opposed to expecting to have the same experience that the reviewer had with that cigar. You know, I've been in the same room with 5-6 guys smoking the exact same cigar, and we all get a lot of different viewpoints on that cigar. So keep that in mind. It's actually something that I think it's wiser to do that than all of a sudden open your mouth and blah 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 blah, you know, and you're the only moron in the room that looks exactly like that, a moron. So let's see here. It almost went out, but there is still smoke. I'm gonna try to get that cherry a little bit hot again. Bear with me for a quick minute. Today's smoke, it is the Sweet Chain, part of the Deadwood collection. As you guys know, there's also Fat Bottom Betty, there's Crazy Alice, and I think that there's a fourth one somewhere out there. Again, I don't know. I don't actively pursue these at all to smoke. So okay, I'm going to give it a little bit more heat. All right, so I asked a little bit, but that's okay. Feelings are not going to get hurt. So have you guys experienced this? Have you guys come across, you know, a particular cigar that you read about, you were really intrigued, and you were like, man, I want to see if that cigar holds up to that flavors, to those flavors that they talk about, and you smoked it and you were like, man, this is just so disappointing. It did not live up to that. So I have one too many times to even count and keep track of. One too many times. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but at the end of the day, I always tell everybody is, you know, just you know, do your own thing, do your own research, smoke your own cigars, enjoy them, do as you will. It's strictly up to you. You know, like a good friend of mine says, you know, it's your money, it's your palate, enjoy it however you want. But take everything you read with a grain of salt, you know, and you know, just make sure that you're happy with every aspect of that, that you are happy with the reason why you bought the cigar, that you're happy with what you spent on it, that you're happy that you're going to be sitting down to enjoy something new, and that you're happy that you're going to be welcoming a lot of new flavor experiences that possibly you may have never had before. And definitely take all of that into consideration when you actively pursue that cigar that you read about or that you heard about the guy in the cigar club or the cigar lounge talking about. So that's really that. I'm not getting mocha anything here. I mean, I'm gonna tell you, they said it's spices, it's mocha, and it's earth. I'm not getting mocha diddly squat in this one. It's still sweet. It's just too sweet for me. I'm gonna continue smoking it. Maybe things will change. There is a spiciness, but let me clarify that it's not what you would imagine, like a pepper spice or a heat spice, or anything. No. There is, again, I guess, sweet spices, the baking spices, the cinnamon, the nutmeg, the cardamoms, all those wonderful aromatic sweet baking spices that are used, definitely in baking cakes and cupcakes and all kinds of different things like that. So that's what I get, a sweet spice, nothing more, nothing less. And I would love it if I would get at least a little cinnamon, a little something, but again, I'm not that guy. I can't get into that one because I'm not getting that. And then it said, earth. Because again, I'm not getting mocha. Earth or earthiness or earth notes or any of that stuff. Nothing like that. I'm getting a delicious saltiness to it. And that's more closer to minerality, a mineral taste, a mineral quality to it. So like a rock salt, that's a mineral, right? So that's sort of what I'm getting. A beautiful, delicious, almost like saltiness like you would experience with rock salt, or like heavy crushed rock salt on top of chocolate or on top of good caramel. That is what I'm enjoying with this cigar. That's about as close to the saltiness aspect as I can get in mineralities. But it's not a bad smoke if you do enjoy infused cigars. Construction wise, let's talk about what I can dive into a little bit better. Flawless, absolutely perfect draw. The cigar itself, of course, it's a dark Connecticut broadleaf wrapper. I wouldn't say necessarily it's that oily. I mean, it's a dark, heavy, rich looking wrapper. Beautiful, perfect draw. As I said, this thing is like, wow, insane. Look, watch. Excellent smoke output. On that last puff, I'm not gonna go back to earth because I got a little bit more about, and just hear me out on this. Don't quote me. Wood that sort of has been sitting in the woods, that I don't want to say rotten, but more like a moist wood, that's just, I got a little bit of that. Not necessarily a bad thing. Again, not necessarily a bad thing. Is it one of the things that I look for in a cigar? No, I don't want to be smoking a cigar that tastes like moldy wood in the middle of the forest or whatnot. No, but there was an interesting all of a sudden taste, a little note of something odd. And again, it wasn't bad. It was not a bad thing. It's just not what I pursue. Real quick, because I know his show is on, so and I definitely want to give props to the main man himself, no pun intended. With your permission, Kevin Shahan has sent me a wonderful package. If you do not know who Kevin Shahan is, then you need to come out of the rock that you've been living under. He is Mr. Cigar Props himself. Right now, his show is going on. So you know what? I would say he's got a way more interesting show than mine, although my show is the better one. So anyways, love you, Kevin, but I got to bust your balls as much as you bust mine. A couple of weeks ago, he started the show with Carrie and Lars and Chris Weber, or Chris Wells from Veritas, making fun of me because I'm always running on Thursday nights and I got something cooking and whatnot. So, but I love it because you know what? Hey, man, I can take it. And I can dish it out as hard as I can take it. That may or may not have come out correctly. But anyways, so if you missed it this past Thursday, I did a payback moment to Mr. Kevin Shahan of Cigar Props. But he sent me a wonderful little care package. And I just want to say thank you very much right now to him, because the guy is truly a really good guy, and I like him, listen, crazy guy, long beard, full of tats, gets butt naked and he does homage to Room 101 so that he can win some free stuff from Matt Booth. Shoot, if I would have had, well, never mind. I don't know. I should have done it, but I didn't. Who cares, But he did it, man. And you know what? Kudos to that, man. So he sent me a really, really great. This is, again, cigar props. This is props. I don't know if you travel around with this or not, but I like it. It is all the different ring gauges right there for cigars. I don't know who is smoking anything that big right there. You see this one? What's this one say? That's a 90. If you're smoking a 90 ring gauge, God bless you. That's all I can say. Ruler on the side right here, and it's got all the different, at least the more common, the more standard names. For the size, you got the double Corona, you got the Churchills, Torpedoes, Grand Coronas. You got, the Lonsdales, Long Corona. So again, it's got a ton of information here. So truly, if you don't have one, go to cigarprops.com and just get you about 38 and pass them around to your friends. Thank you, Kevin. I love that a lot. I mean, I love it. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, no, I put my bills in here, too. I forgot. Yeah, I'm not paying those. Let me see. Yes, here we go. This is it right here. And I think I got the classic cigar prop that gave him his huge, huge claim to fame. And I'm really, really excited about it. Two things, actually. He's got this amazing. I'm going to open it. I got a busted up hand. I think I'm going to try to see which way is it. Okay. God almighty. There you go. There you go. The best bleeder in the industry right there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but this is the best bleeder for all of your torches. I mean, it's like this thing literally perfect. Look at that. I almost blasted myself in the face. So I love it. Best bleeder in the industry, hands down. Hands down. I don't care who you are. If you're making one, it's not as good as that. Just saying, it's just not. I mean, I love it. And then, of course, for all of us who are a little bit, like, hey, I'm not going to put my cigar just anywhere unless I know who's been there. Look at this. Look at this. It's not anything, that occupies a lot of space. You see all these. What are you thinking? Is that like a ninja weapon? No. Boom. Look at that. It actually opens up and it becomes a great cigar stand. Look. Boom. And now my cigar is perfectly protected. It's in a nice spot. I'm going to go ahead and just put that there. I'm going to just put it there and I'm going to enjoy it. Wow, I love it. So thank you, Kevin Shahan. Kevin's doing his show right now, the Cigar Prop, on YouTube and all over social media. Again, he gave me some really great advice concerning how to approach doing my show and whatnot. And for that, I am truly thankful. He is a guy that really, if you ask him, hey man, can you help me out with this? Dude, he just does it. He's a good guy. But make no mistakes, Kevin. When you make a little bit of fun of me, I'm going to make a lot more fun of you. So anyways, I'll tell you what, guys, definitely see what I did last Thursday on the Viajante Stogie Road Diaries. I opened up the show literally as I came into the world, no clothing, not even a pretty visual right now in your head, but I had a box, and all I'm going to say is you need to maybe backtrack and find last Thursday's Stogie Road Diaries with Lars Teaton, Kerry Horney, and myself, and my payback moment to Kevin Shahan. So thank you, Kevin, for the gifts, man. Love you dearly, brother. You're a good guy. You're not my type. Just want to say it real quick. I think you're more Matt Booth's type. You're more the tatted up and hairy kind of type. I'm not that. I don't like that at all. If I'm gonna be hairy, it'll be for me. So I'm glad that he sent me that, and I want to say one more time, thank you to a really, really classy guy. He's awesome. Let's see, is the cigar still lit? I don't know. Let's check it out. What do you know? Really nice, really nice. Again, I'm gonna I'm gonna use my new cigar prop. I'm gonna use my new cigar prop. Let me see if I do it here. If I do it here, I wonder if I can do it right. What is it visible right there? I think it's visible. Is it? I'm not. That's too far away. So the opening salvo today when I started the show was I'm smoking a sweet chain, part of the Deadwood series, all of that stuff. Great, not a problem. But I wasn't out to attack infused cigars. What I was doing was smoking a cigar that has added flavors or added sweetness or added who knows in the infused process. And I wanted to see if I picked those flavors up. Because when I smoke a regular cigar, I know what I normally pick up is what we call the core flavor profiles, the spice. Usually it's a peppery spiciness, a little heat. I pick up, a very well-aged tobacco flavor that has a natural sweetness in there. I pick up the darker flavors, like a little espresso, like a little coffee. I can pick that up. I can pick up a little bit of a little chocolate, classic stuff. When I start getting people telling me I pick up vintage leather on the tongue, I'm like, wow. I don't know what you're doing with vintage leather on your tongue, and I don't want to know, nor do I care. So I just want to say it like that. And from there on in, he goes into like all kinds of weird nonsense people I've heard them talk about. But it was all based on an interesting write-up that I saw today, which got a lot of like comments by Skip Martin. And he is, of course, the owner of Roma Craft Cigars. I like saying things in Spanish, Roma Craft, but it's not. It's Roma Craft Cigars. And he had basically said, have you guys ever heard about that guy at the cigar shops that when he opens his mouth after one puff, he's telling you all these myriad flavors he's picking up, like sweet basil, and he picks up, juniper berry, and he's tasting, freshly ground, who the hell knows, and again, that guy that you're looking at him and like, dude, you just got all of that, and like the smoke has left his mouth, and he's still like, pursuing different things. If that's you, rock and roll. God bless you. Listen, it's nothing wrong with that. There's more room in the world for you guys, and that's lovely. I'm not that guy. So that was sort of the idea. I wanted to smoke an infused cigar that already came with that loaded package. I knew that I was going to be smoking something that should be giving me these interesting, weird flavors. This cigar supposedly has spice. They didn't go into any particulars about what spice or what style or anything. They said spice. They said mocha. Mocha to me means like a chocolatiness, dark espresso. I didn't get any of that. I mean, I personally did not get any of that. And then, of course, it has an earth, spice, mocha, and earth. Good Lord bless it. That could mean anything. So I got out of it a mineral taste, slightly metallic, bordering on saltiness. That's where I'm going to be at right now with that cigar. So it's one of those things. Like if you take a little, I don't know, you taste a little copperiness, a little blood copperiness, again, I don't know. But it's more of a mineral taste, slightly metallic, bordering on saltiness. That's what I got. So if that translates to earthiness, well, of course, these things do come from the earth. So there, that's as far as I'm going to go. This is coming from a guy who I've said this before, I do not actively pursue nor go out of my way to smoke infused cigars. Rarely will you ever see me smoking an infused cigar. The rare exception is now I am a fan of a brand of cigars, and it's because I've happened to know the man himself. I know a little bit of his trajectory. I know a little bit of his history. I know a little bit of how he goes about producing his infused cigars or his flavored cigars, if you will. In my opinion, he is the grandfather of this. He's been at it for 40 plus years. So well before there was a Drew Estate, well before that, Lars Tietens was the main man himself, and he was doing it. So that's the rare exceptions that if I come across them, I would buy them. I would buy them because there's a level of quality and craftsmanship in there that supersedes, in my my humble opinion, what other infused cigars currently have. So that's me. That's just me. I'm gonna just leave it at that, and you know, just it is what it is. Would I smoke the cigar again? I know the price on the cigar is, and it just to me, because of my own personal experiences, I don't want to pay $9, $8, $10 for this cigar. I refuse to. I'd rather invest that in another experience, in another type of experience, and that's what I look for. So if you enjoy infused cigars because they give you more nuances of flavors, great, man. Absolutely. Cortez, what's going on? Thank you very much for watching, and I appreciate that a lot, brother. If you enjoy regular cigars, regular puros, then God bless you also on that. And remember, again, as a good friend of mine says, it's your money, it's your palate. Smoke whatever you like, how you like it, and disregard everybody else. But my only piece of advice at the end of this show, which I'm about to wrap up, is don't be that guy that tries to just tell everybody all the crap you get after a few puffs of your cigar. So I'm going to see one last time if this cigar is still lit. I'm going to try to get something else out of it, and I'll wrap up with that. Great. It did me a favor. It went out on its own. So one more time, thank you very much for these amazing gifts to Mr. Kevin Shahan of Cigar Prop. Phenomenal tool for ring gauges on cigars. Plenty of information about the different sizes, what they're called. There is a ruler also down here. So I love this. Love it. The best bleeder in the industry, hands down. And of course, my very own cigar prop for my cigar. And see, look at that. Boom. Anyways, right there. So there it is. Kevin Shahan, a class act. I think, and I'm gonna say it like this: you and I do not look good naked in any type of way, but to our loved ones, maybe we do. Who the hell knows? God bless everybody. Thank you for those who were with me tonight. I really, really appreciated that. It's, as you guys know, that Monday nights I fly solo. The boys will be back this Wednesday with me here. Los Tres Maduros, Seamus Tolle, Mike Striegel. I don't know why I was saying Seamus William. I'm thinking maybe Sean Williams. Seamus Tolle, Mike Striegel, and myself, Dunkan Echevarria, will be with you on Wednesday. We're gonna have some more fun. We're gonna talk a little bit more trash. Who knows? Who knows what's headed our way? But again, as always, I'm thankful to all of you guys who do tune in, who do watch, and truly, it is you guys that just really make my day when I'm able to do this. Sometimes, believe it or not, I'm gonna say it like this: take this for whatever it is. It is these moments of reaching out to you guys and knowing that even if there's just one person on the other end that had a good time or learned something, or just said, look at this moron, he doesn't know what he's doing. You know what? Thank you. I appreciate you guys more than you'll ever know. On behalf of myself, the guys, and everybody at Los Tres Maduros, and of course Doña NOLI Cigars, have a wonderful rest of the week. Remember, Monday's pretty much over and done with. We got just a few more days. Have at it. Enjoy yourselves, and God bless each and every single one of you. Love you guys. Hey, Kevin, one more time. We're not pretty naked, brother. Smoke well, because we do. Bye-bye.